everyone. I hope you all are doing well. It is me, Coach V, the New Love Strategist with New Thing Life Coaching. For those of you who do not know, I'm a certified life dating and relationship coach, and I'm an online dating consultant for Christian women. I'm also an author, minister, speaker, a whole lot of good stuff. You can connect at newthinglifecoaching.com. There's an Instagram page, Facebook group, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I wanted to talk, and you can see based off of the title on this video, as far as girlfriend, boyfriend, is there a certain stage that is actually necessary when it comes to relationships? And how this all started, I had actually posted something, I want to say maybe earlier this week on my personal page about ensuring that the person that you're choosing is choosing you. And it was like a little meme. And of course, I put my own caption or whatever on there. And someone had commented about this being the very reason they don't believe in, boyfriend, girlfriend relationships, and I responded to her comment. Brandy, I love her, I adore her. So this is not, dig at her. I just know that this is something that, a couple of people talk about. So, she commented, we talked about it. And then I know that on her personal page, she had also asked if this stage was necessary, wanting to look to see what other people had to say. So it was definitely very interesting going through the comments to see who had to say what. And I could be wrong. She can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really see if a lot of men had responded, commented on her post, but I saw a lot of females did. And she made a very interesting observation saying, that she realized that a lot of the married people were saying, no, it's not necessary, but a lot of the single people were the ones who were saying that it is. And I could really, talk about that for a while, but I'm going to leave that part alone. And I know like Weedy, well, she had mentioned, and I know there was even an article that I posted in my group, the SAS Tribe on Facebook, about one woman who she was dating and stuff like that, but she had already made it clear she was not taking herself off the market. She was not going to be referred to, I guess, as a girlfriend or be exclusive with anyone. There was not going to be commitment without an actual engagement, that until a man proposed to her, like, hey, I can do whatever the heck I want to do. So can we talk a little bit about, is the boyfriend girlfriend stage necessary? Now, first off, let's make it clear. Necessary is a word that is subjective. What might be necessary to you is not necessary to someone else. So we are all going to have different opinions on that. So that word is already kind of funky in and of itself. And again, I'm still stuck on, some of the married, most of the married people saying like, no, it's not necessary. But then again, single people saying, yes, it is. That is interesting indeed. However, this is also perspective. It is case by case. It is different strokes for different folks. First of all, let's also keep in mind that when we use the word girlfriend, boyfriend, courting, exclusive, whatever you want to call it, all of those things are the same. Either way, all of those things are the stage that is in between dating and engaged. Same concept. The concept, I want to say necessary, but there are some people, I have heard of those stories where it's almost like when they were still practically strangers, they just knew. They just had a feeling. They just went with it and went straight to not even being engaged, went straight to being married. Whether it was like after a couple of days or even a couple of weeks, in some cases, a couple of months, cool. For some people, that worked out well. They are still happily married years later, decades later. For some, like they've already gone to the grave and that was their story. In some cases, it's like, love at first sight. I was stupid. I thought I knew him. I thought I knew her, and it didn't really work out. Whatever. I will say that the concept behind it, whatever you want to call those things in between, should still happen. And I will just say again, for me being someone who is a relationship coach, that aspect I will say necessary. Either way, still with pros and cons. So can we talk about this? I always say there are 5 stages to the natural progression of a healthy relationship. Okay, 5 different stages. My simplicity students, y'all already know this. I talk about it a lot. Those in the SAS tribe, I talk about it a lot. I'm always talking about the 5 different stages to a relationship. Stage 1, strangers. There's really nothing to talk about. You don't know this person. I don't care if they just reached out to you on the dating app. I don't care if they, you just met them in the grocery store. Strangers, you don't know anything about this person. Even if you talk on the phone, still strangers. Very, very surfacey with many different things. So moving right along. Stage 2 is when you are casually dating. You're screening. You're just pretty much getting information about this person. It's still casual. That's about it. I don't care if you kiss them on the first date. God forbid you have sex on the first date. It's still casual. You don't know anything about them. It's really not that serious. A lot of people don't know how to navigate this stage. There are some women who often get stuck at stage 2. And I did a webinar on this. I want to say it was like, I don't know, maybe you can still access it at like bit.ly/modern dating fail. I think that was the one on why modern dating isn't working for you, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Again, Simplicity, my 4-week virtual masterclass just on dating. It teaches boundaries and communication at all 5 stages to help women, because some women are like, I've been single, dating is not working for me. That like I can never get past this point, or once we get here, something always, if it's always, that's a you problem. All right. So casually dating, this is a stage where a lot of people also overcommit. They tend to commit here and they get their feelings hurt to some degree. That is also kind of in reference to the post that I made earlier this week about, make sure the person you're choosing is choosing you. Because a lot, like we can go on 3 dates. I don't care if it's been 3 dates, like it's still casual, unless y'all have actually talked about, what's happening and going forward, what you both want, what you really should not be doing date 1 or 2. But I'm gonna leave that alone right now. This is where feelings get hurt. Stage 3 is romantic friends. Romantic friends. Romantic friends. I don't care if you've kissed. I don't care if y'all talked about them. I don't care how much you love them. I don't care, if they love you. I don't care if y'all, like y'all are dating. You really, really feel like this is it. Y'all are on the same page. You're so compatible. All that other good stuff. You're still friends. Even if there's a romantic interest, there is no commitment. This is why I say friends. I remember, I think even yesterday, I posted about friends and the whole friends first, and people who, talk about, well, shouldn't we be friends first? And no, like I always say, there needs to be a friendship within the relationship. But for those of you who are dating, no, you're not looking to have somebody as a friend first. This is how people get friend zoned. Again, be friendly. But like I said, when I think about friends, anyone who I call a friend, that means that I trust you. I trust you with my secrets. I am loyal to you. I know you are loyal to me. I got your back. I know you got my back. I feel safe with you. I make sure that you feel safe with me. I am protective over you. That is friend. So no, I'm not looking for friends, because like when it comes to these men, you don't friend. No, romantic friends is stage 3. Okay, this is the stage truly where a lot of women end up getting their feelings hurt. This is where people definitely go hard and heavy with the overly committing. Feelings get all type of sliced and diced, because again, just because you like this person, we've been going on dates, we've been talking and da 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 da. I thought, stop making assumptions. Do not do that. This is a lot of fantasy building, a lot of false alarms in this stage right here. I did a podcast on that, I think, last week, the Freedom Reigns podcast, talking about, Barbara the Builders, a lot of y'all who are building fantasies based off of this stage alone. Stage 4 is where this little debate and conversation comes into play about, is the girlfriend boyfriend stage necessary? Because whatever title you decide to use, stage 4 is where commitment comes into play, in spite of however the heck you try to label it. Stage 4 is before you get to stage 5, which of course that's like long-term, like life partners, which typically for Christians who desire marriage, that's, that marriage at that point. But stage 4 is commitment, it's exclusive, blah, 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 whatever. So getting all of that out the way, is the girlfriend, boyfriend stage necessary? I get fascinated when I see people bring Bible into this. Let's go ahead and bring Bible into it if we want to go ahead and play that game. We already know that when we actually read the Bible, obviously there is no casual dating in the Bible, okay? Typically, once an interest was expressed in the Bible, people were engaged, or oftentimes kind of went straight to marriage. Truly, there was no courting in the Bible. I know we like to make it biblical, but courting is not biblical, okay? This is something that came into existence many years ago. It was done in the presence of families and the community and stuff like that. Parents were involved, mentors were involved. All of that other good stuff. The idea of courting, it was pretty much expected and really almost even required if you go back to the 19th century. That's when it was really, but it's like the way that courting was done, like that's not like we have tried to make courting into something today that it's not. And even then, a lot of things that people are saying, I want someone to court me, you want a boyfriend. That's like it's pretty much all the same thing. Dating, funny enough, obviously we know dating again, it's not the Bible. Dating is a little bit more modern than we truly realize. Because even as early as the 1820s, dating is something that was frowned upon. I've talked about this before. Dating is something that was even put in the same category as like prostitution. It was like that was like a big no-no. Like there just was no dating. However, about a little over 100 years ago is when it was expected. So truth be told, whether you want to use dating, courting, whatever, it's like dating has just more in recent times become an additional step in the courting process. Again, neither one of these really line up biblically, though we really try to make it fit, but it can't. Okay? When you think about biblical stuff, since we want to bring Bible into it, women also oftentimes did not have much of a say so. It was like if a man wanted you to be his wife, guess what? You became his wife. If a man sent for you to be his wife, you became his wife. So if we want to stick to like, are you cool with that? Do you want that to happen? So what we're not going to do is attempt to Bible something when it's convenient because it supports our argument or our opinion. Okay? So no dating, but there was no courting either. Again, at least not what we deem to be courting today. Let's just clear that up, all right? Don't pretend like you'd be okay with the man just going to your father and taking you as you, because you wouldn't be. You would not be. Be like, no, I didn't even date him. No, I need to know about him. No, I need to, find out this, that, the third, and that. So it's like again, we're so wishy-washy. We really like we are a wishy-washy generation, and it's like we try so hard to like have all the answers and try like to support different things. And I'm sorry I said it before, but just it's like more and more. And I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm gonna leave that alone. So there was not any girlfriend or boyfriend in the Bible either, obviously, nor dating, nor modern idea of courting. Only engagements and marriage. Now, here's something I don't think a lot of people realize. Engagements were a really big deal. Like engagements were a big deal. If you promised to marry someone, you better do it. Engagement, betrothal, whatever, like it was the same thing, especially in Jewish culture. That was a formal bond between a man and a woman. It was something that was almost as formal as marriage itself, but of course, without the physical intimacy. We can go back to sex. This is why sex is something that was designed for husband. The problem is, sex is what has confused so many different things. I go back to that article where that woman was talking about how she wasn't going to be, in and out of anyone's bed and doing sleepovers and whatever else, unless her whole thing was no, like until someone has committed and at least engaged, at least we're, engaged. That's where we shouldn't be hopping any, like we want to be Bible. Okay, well, the Bible makes it perfectly clear. No sex before marriage, right? I mean, it talks about how sex was only intended for husband and wife. So it's like, even when it comes to engagement, that was the thing, is saying, hey, we are going to get married. We just haven't had sex yet. But it's like knowing that once you had sex, that's what binded that engagement. It's like now you're actually married. You've done the deed. There you go. Engagements typically would last about a year, and even then, sometimes like engagements would a lot of times last a year. I'm gonna calm down because I know I'm getting all whatever. Like I said, sometimes referring to the fiance as husband or wife, that was normal as well, because that's just how big of a deal an engagement was. Even though no sex had taken place, because again, sex was the glue that solidified everything. So let's also keep in mind there are no guidelines in the Bible specifically for relationships at all. However, again, we can, like I always tell people, like I am a Christian coach for Christian women. Yes, I'm a Christian dating coach. I'm a Christian online dating consultant for Christian women, because at the end of the day, I still want to make sure you can still hold on to biblical principles, hold on to your values, hold on to your morals, and keep God at the center while you navigate the world's way of doing everything in your attempt to discover love. If we are going to stick with Bible when there isn't even a true, again, guideline necessarily as far as certain things, we have a couple of examples we can pick from if that's the case. David and Bathsheba. Because at the end of the day, David did what? He had her husband killed after impregnating her. When the husband was at work, David was supposed to be at work that day. He wasn't. But he got her pregnant, tried to get the husband to have sex with her, just so it would come off like the baby was his. Where's Maury Povich when you need him? So we see how that worked out. There was also David and Abigail. Her husband died after disrespecting David. She had to step in and save her husband, but then he ended up dying. And then David did what? Sent for her. He sent for Abigail to become his wife. Again, you could just take them. Jacob and Rachel. Cute. Such a cute story. Love it. Love at first sight. The whole nine. He saw her there at the well and he fell in love. And he was like, hey, I will work for her. I've said it before, like people love using that example. Well, Jacob courted Rachel. No, he did not. He worked for her because he wanted her just that badly. He was not going to the house and picking her up and taking her on dates. No, he worked with her father Laban in order to get her hand in marriage. He went through all of that and he still turned around and did what? He got the sister who was deemed ugly or lazy eyes or weak eyes, however you want to look at it. But he didn't want her. The Bible speaks about Rachel being beautiful with a nice shape and figure and whatever else. And it says, oh, Leah had weak eyes, but she was the oldest. Jacob was on the run. That's why you gotta be careful how you treat people, because you always deceive other people. Then look at that. He ended up getting deceived after lying to his daddy. No dating, no girlfriend, no boyfriend. Not a whole lot in between either when we look at the Bible. Now, of course, I know some people like to look at the story of Ruth and Boaz. Cool. My book is titled Debunking for a Reason. Debunking the fairy tale of Boaz for a reason, only because we romanticize like one of the least romantic stories. I don't want to say one of the least romantic. I like to say that it's romantic because I see God's redemptive love and power in that book. And we, look at how Ruth went through all of that. Like she trusted an unknown God. She decided to be dedicated to her, hurting mother-in-law, even though she herself, like both of them had just lost their husbands. So it's like you see Ruth was like, hey, wherever you go, I go. Your people will become my people. Your God is going to become my God. So I love seeing how Ruth was blessed because of that. I love seeing how, eventually Naomi was blessed, like knowing that, of course, they're like in the direct lineage of Jesus Christ, like, because of her giving birth to her son. Like, and it's just looking at the genealogy of it all. That's why I like it. But at the end of the day, we're not going to try to romanticize this. When Ruth was a poor widow who was grieving, her husband was barely cold in the ground at that point. Her bitter mother-in-law was like, hey, get freshened up and go to that man's room. He'll pick you. Like, you was pimped out by I'm not gonna say pimped out, but go through all that. And then of course, what's not even included in the book, those Cinderella stories and like a lot of fairy tales, you see all the stuff that happens and then it's like, and then they lived happily ever after. And it's like, then the movie ends. That's pretty much how the book of Ruth ends. They lived happily ever after. Her and well, it doesn't really say that, but we're left to believe that they live happily ever after. They get married. She gets pregnant. She has a baby. Here we have Obed and then Jesse, and then they like all these other different things and da 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 da. And of course, Obed is in the direct lineage of Jesus Christ. All this other good stuff is amazing. But what the book of Ruth does not include at the end, it doesn't talk about how Boaz actually died. Some even say on their wedding night, but it's like he died shortly after impregnating her. That don't really sound romantic to me. I don't know. Grab my book if you haven't already. This month is buy one, get one free. Anyway, all this information I'm giving you, take it all and do whatever it is that you want to do with it. I say before, I'm not here to change your mind. I'm only here to open your mind. Do whatever you want. Have whatever stage you want. Say, hey, like I've decided I am not, no one can call me a girlfriend. I don't like this and I don't like that. Nope. Once I start dating and after, if it's not heading towards marriage, do whatever you want to do. I will say that stage 4, is important for a few reasons. One, it's a little bit hard to see how someone handles commitment without one being present, first of all. Oh, you can tell enough about a person's character. No, not really, because a lot of you have these, oh, I need to see him in all 4 seasons. I need to say this, and I need to see how this person, is in traffic. I need to see them when they're angry. I need to see this. Okay, so we want to see all of these things, but again, so it doesn't say that in the Bible. So that's why it's crazy that we pick and choose what we are going to try to Bible. Like it really doesn't make any sense. What's important is that you see how their relationship is with God, and you see how they handle commitment. You check out their staying power. You check to see if they are respectful. You check to see if their love is patient and kind. You check to see if they actually produce the fruits of the Spirit that Galatians 5 talks about. That's what you need to be checking to see and worrying about. All this other stuff is just nonsense that's truthfully keeping a lot of people single even longer. And listen, times are changing. Let's also talk about that. Times are changing. We don't today do things how the Bible did things. Yes, times are changing. Well, times might be changing, but his word remains the same. True. But his word only gives instructions to husbands and wives and tells them how to act and what to do and what not to do, and talking about marriage. Now, does this mean that there's nothing else in between? Maybe. If you wanted to apply it. Do whatever you want. Stage 4 is important because this is where goals and conversations are had. This is where there are plans. There's talks about the future and whatever else. Like, this is commitment. And you should be learning that in dating. No, you should not. And that is why a lot of people aren't doing well when it comes to dating. Because date 1, I'm trying to feel you out. That's like first date jitters. Date 2 is a lot of times like trying to redeem the first date. All right. Date 3, it's like, okay, now we can relax and and really start maybe digging a little bit deep, but it's still, I'm getting to know you. What do you like to do? Tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you do for a living and whatever else. But finding out how you feel about marriage and more kids and how often you pray and your credit score and finances and how you think bills should be handled, and are you looking for someone who's going to be barefoot and pregnant? Are you cool being a stay-at-home wife? Those are not things that people need to be worrying about on that first, second, and really not even that third date. So when you're still getting to know someone, this is why you need to take time to get to know someone. So even with stage 3, okay, romantic friends. Yeah, now there is emotional intimacy. Now you are letting this person in. They are letting you in. You know that you like each other. So yeah, now it's time, finding out where they stand with certain things. And it's really trying to determine if stage 5, which for us who want marriage, stage 5 is marriage. So stage 3 is where we're trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure, okay, are we wanting the same things? Screw compatibility. I've said before, like, I don't have time. There are 11 compatibility myths inside Simplicity, okay? We don't have time for compatibility. We're trying to see who is suitable and complementary for us at this point. So remember, no one goes from stage 2 to stage 4. Well, I'm not going to say no one. That is typically not what happens. People typically do not go from casually dating to, oh, we're engaged and we're about to get married. We've already talked about it. It happens. It's not normal, okay? But it happens. So it's remembering stage 4. I don't care what you want to call it. Girlfriend, boyfriend, engaged, exclusive, courting, committed, exclusively dating. It's all the same thing. All right? Remember, when it comes to dating versus courting, dating is fun and screening and getting to know somebody. I said screening. I did not say interviewing. Courting is intentional pursuit. Intentional with a purpose. I'm really trying to learn this person. Again, nothing is wrong with going from dating to engaged, okay? Do whatever you want to do. But that means that you better date well. One, first of all, but date very, very well. If you're saying I want to go from dating to engage, that means you better be bomb at dating. You better know exactly what the heck you're doing, first of all. But what I'll also just don't expect this because it's not the norm. But it can be yours. And if you're saying, hey, well, that's going to be my norm, I rock with that lady, who did that article. Yeah, I'm just until I'm until someone has actually put a ring on my finger or changed my last name, I'm single, single. I can do it, or I'm not going to take anyone serious, or I'm not going to give my all. I'm going to leave that alone because I don't really have time for that right now. I've been talking all day and my throat hurts. There are pros to stage 4. The conversations, the intentional pursuit, the screening, all of that and I know what I will say, I do believe in dating with a purpose. I just feel like we've gone so far with that, and a lot of people don't understand it, because what I realize is that that concept is hindering many people because they are like straight up making it known what they want now. And this can absolutely 100% positively, wholeheartedly be detrimental, only because some people just are so aggressive with it. Going straight for marriage, it takes the fun out of dating. Like, why are we in such a rush? Everybody's rushing. Just rushing. Thought we were American. Why are we rushing? Like, calm down. Like, we are just going straight. Like, just let it be fun. Even if you are a Christian that is marriage minded, that's fine. Enjoy it and slow down. I'm not saying let anyone drag you along, because that is one of the cons of this stage. But just see if you like this person. Like, y'all aren't even giving it enough time to see if you want a second or third date. Nah, he wasn't for me. Really? You didn't even give it a chance. Like, you trust yourself and you've made a couple of bad decisions repeatedly. You haven't real like how you might still be contributing to the reason why none of these first dates are working out. But nah, he just wasn't from that. I didn't like that. Chill. 3 dates. 3 dates. 3 is the magical number that I always tell my VIB clients. I even give that freebie. I give that game freebie. 3 real dates is what it really takes to get to know, is this someone you should proceed with? If this confuses you, I'm going to say it one last time. Invest in simplicity. That class will help you gather your entire life. So those are like, this is really the pros. I mean, just you get to screen. You just get to kind of figure some things out. Now, of course, there are some cons. And I say that because some people, especially women, don't know how to define what's going on between stages 3 and 4. They don't know how to define. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to ask questions. They don't know, well, I don't even know what we are or what's really going on. A lot of times, the problem with the boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, whatever you want to call it stage, is some people don't even try to put a timeline or limit on it. They don't even find out exactly about, are they on the same page as far as the future is concerned? Some people end up being a girlfriend forever. Some people end up just being blinded by the fact that they're in a relationship. Some girlfriends never get a ring, and then some women end up getting a ring, and that's it. It's like the ring is just kind of to shut you up. Like, a lot of people don't realize the whole purpose of engagement, again, is just taking that year in between and kind of letting some things happen and whatever else. And it's like, okay, boom. But some people are allowing an engagement ring to shut them up, and that's why we have some people who have been fiancés forever. So it's crazy that we try to just like praise fiancés when, anyway, the cons of this girlfriend boyfriend stage as well, of course, some people, this is where sex can end up coming into play, shacking up, living together, and some people go up, I need to live with a person first. I've already spoken, there's no scripture on that, no, but of course, come on, let's be real, we already know like temptation and whatever else. But I'll even say this, as far as statistics and studies showing that a couple who ends up living together before marriage, they significantly decrease their chances of ever getting married. If they do end up getting married and they actually had sex and or lived together before getting married, then their chances of divorce increases. Studies, this was not my opinion. Studies have actually shown that for decades now. keep that in mind. At the end of the day, make sure that you are on the same page and just make sure that there is a commitment. You and this person that you are going to be with, or whatever your thought process is, the key is to make sure there's some type of commitment that both of you are going to honor, and just make sure that y'all are on the same page. As I've said before, loyalty can only exist when a commitment is present. All right? Ignore quantity by any means, anything where you can count, whether it's the number of times this has happened or how long y'all have been together and the length of the relationship. No, evaluate the quality of the relationship. Don't be so marriage bound that you overlook what a person is showing you as a friend, a romantic friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a fiance, whatever you want to call it. Don't be so focused on becoming a fiance, or especially a wife or husband, if there are any men watching this, that you end up overlooking what they are showing you now. Because we like to act like fiance is better. But have y'all seen the way some of these fiancés act? The boyfriend stage, for me, that is me being at peace with what I learned about him in stage 3. I'll just say that. Boy, that stage is important for me because, again, that is me being at peace with what I learned about him in that stage. Of course, I've talked about how I've been someone who has done things completely backwards over the committing to men who were not committed to me being loyal to men who were not loyal to me, having sex outside of a relationship, having sex inside a relationship. Everything has been done backwards as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not saying, like, if I was to meet some, we're, dating and whatever else. And of course, if they're like, hey, let's get married. Okay, cool. So I'm not saying that I have to have it. I will not accept it any other way. But for me, that is me enjoying that and being at peace with it while we make plans and go towards whatever. And again, looking at the way that some of those situations did happen in the Bible. What a lot of you don't know is I'm going to be 36 on Christmas Day. My birthday is literally December 25th. All right. All I want for my birthday is for you to learn how to date. So enroll in something. All right. But with me getting ready to be 36 in 2 weeks, I'm too old to be somebody's girlfriend. I'll say that. Boyfriend and girlfriend is for youngins. My children always laugh and tell me I'm not even old. Like, they told me, like, no one says LOL. Like, whatever. I'll say dating means that I'm still free. Exclusively dating, I can deal with that. Okay. But we're going to be discussing the next stage. That is still a commitment. Now, what I will say is I'm not going to be no one's fool forever either. Let's also not act as if you only get hurt when dating. And let's not act as if people only get hurt in the girlfriend and boyfriend stage. Let's also stop doing that, okay? Because there are wives out here who are hurting because they rush to get to that stage without really knowing the person. There is no greater hurt than, I'm sure, a wife who ended up with someone that she thought she was going to spend the rest of her life with, all because she was rushing to become a wife. And she realized, I didn't know this person. I married wrong. So stop bashing people for wanting that stage of commitment, regardless of how you feel. We can all have opinions and that's cool. And again, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm a coach. I'm an expert with it. These are just, even with some of these outside of the actual facts that I spoke and Bible stuff that I spoke, same thing. It's still my opinions, my preferences, my feedback, my expert advice. Let everybody do whatever the heck they want to do at the end of the day. Okay? That's what I will say. And ladies, y'all already know, like I'm always talking about, like, just be careful who you're getting advice and certain things from. Because more and more single people who are like bitter and single and like negative and single and like sad and single, are out there giving like the most advice about what they wouldn't do and couldn't be me. And now I already know that XYZ. And I'm just seeing more single people keep more singles single longer. I'll just say that. That's it. Listen, If you just do not understand dating, love, men, stages, all that other good stuff, then I've got something for you. All right. 2021 is going to be here before you know it. And if you can truly say, hey, I'm not ready, but I am willing to get ready, then I definitely have something for you. Like if you are ready to heal, find your purpose, and work on your finances, let's do it. If you are ready to be free from sex, soul ties, and lies, I've got something for you. If you are ready to then date and even know how to date, even becoming a holy girlfriend at one point, as I always like to say when it comes to a holy girlfriend. Listen, then I want you to enroll in the Sassy Institute. That is my 12-month self-paced coaching program, and it has monthly courses that are going to be based on sex, dating, healing, purpose, being a girlfriend, so much more. Also with New Thing Life Coaching merchandise, books, classes. You get access to the biannual masterclass. You also get a free book or course from the arsenal every month. All of that for only $129 a month. And yes, I said only $129 a month. There's no commitment, no contract, whatever, but you get to work on one thing at a time. And then each month, once you've already finished the other stuff, you automatically unlock a new masterclass every single month. So again, it's self-paced coaching. Enrollment is open. Single ladies, you get to come on and be a part of that. You can enroll at newthinglifecoaching.com/TSI. The Sassy Institute is where it is at. But at the end of the day, I pray that you get something out of this message. I pray that you all will be blessed. I pray that you all have a fantastic Saturday. My voice has had enough. I don't know, for those of you who are in the SAS tribe or even on the Saved and Single page, I went live earlier talking about Satan using shame. And I just had to really come with Bible and teaching on that one. So I'm about to go rest my throat for real, for real. I think I'm about to go make my T-bone steak because I'm hungry. I'm still kid-free and wobbling around after falling down those stairs last week. Ladies, connect with me at newthinglifecoaching.com. Also follow me on Instagram, New Thing Life Coaching. Like me on Facebook, New Thing Life Coaching. I'm even on Twitter. New Thing, New Love. I don't even know what the name is. I know New Thing Life Coaching is on there, SAS Tribe, all that other good stuff here to help you win at love. I'm no longer going to sit by and just watch women when it comes to like struggling with dating, with self-esteem, with healing, whatever. Know that I'm here for you. You might be thinking TSI doesn't really sound like it's for me. Well, I do group coaching and I do one-on-one coaching classes, the whole nine. Hop in my inbox and let me know how I can help you, sis. All right. Y'all be blessed and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.